Right now we are tracking on our hail tracker, hail up to apple size in Leander near Crystal Falls, tennis ball size heading toward Anderson Mill. Cedar Park, you've got billiard ball size hail being indicated. That is 3 inches in diameter. We have a destructive severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 7 p.m. Round Rock, Cedar Park, Northwest Austin, and even downtown Austin and Pflugerville, you are all in this storm. Severe thunderstorm warning, though it's not a tornado warning, there is tornado possible on this because of the fact that there is some rotation. There have been some reports of some loosely organized funnels with this particular storm, and you can see it's pushing right across southern Williamson County into northwest Travis County. All right, so that's where things stand right now. I'll continue to track this activity for you on the other side of the break. In the meantime, quick look at your allergy. Oh, I thought it was going to be the allergy report. We'll get to the allergy report coming up. Right here is your allergy report. We've got grass.
Your storm tracker weather with Chief Meteorologist Chicago Windler.
All right, folks, we've decided that we're going to go ahead and take priority with this severe thunderstorm warning. It's not a tornado warning, folks, but there is giant-sized hail with it. All right, so what you need to know is if you are in Cedar Park specifically, currently radar is indicating hail up to apple size. Round Rock, this is quickly moving in toward you. Northern Travis County, also for you. Winds right now are also going to be a factor. We could see some winds up to 60 miles per hour. Severe thunderstorm watch is in effect for the Hill Country, I-35 corridor, and Milam County until 10 p.m. And let me share with you what we're looking at on radar right now. We have a supercell thunderstorm that has a history of extremely large hail, the latest severe thunderstorm warning until 7 p.m. And we've had hail reports already of extremely large hail. We could see up to apple-sized hail rolling right now through Leander, rolling through Cedar Park toward Round Rock, heading into northwest Austin. And the storm is moving to the southeast at about 25 miles per hour. And though it does not have a tornado warning on it, there is some rotation. So I've definitely been keeping tabs on whether we see any of that develop. We've also seen lots of reports coming in lately. Egg-sized hail came into Bertram and Burnett County. Liberty Hill reporting quarter-sized hail. We saw some Bertram, again, half-dollar-sized hail reported, and it's likely that there's additional large hail falling. So the storm right now has moved away from Liberty Hill. Here's Highway 29, Georgetown, I-35. It's not going to be bad for you. Leander, you saw it push right over 183. Cedar Park, the worst of it is right on top of you. So if you're in Cedar Park right now, hopefully you're inside because the biggest part of the hail core is moving through your area right now, heading toward Round Rock, heading into northwest Austin, Jollyville, Pflugerville, Lago Vista, and eventually right toward downtown Austin the way things are looking. So we've got that warning in effect for hail up to 3 inches in diameter, winds up to 60 miles per hour. It's in effect until 7 p.m. and there is enough rotation to say there could be a tornado possible. Let me give you some new towns and times because, again, the storm's been moving off toward the southeast about 25 miles per hour. So I'll clear this and I'll give you some new times, I should say. So we'll take the leading edge of the storms and I'm going to go ahead and push it out for the next hour or so on our storm tracker, and we're going to see it push through Round Rock right now and move toward Austin. So let's give you the latest on the towns and times. Lakeway 617, I should say. Current time is 6:16. Pflugerville 6:23. Bee Cave 6:30. Austin Executive Airport out in Pflugerville 6:32. Barton Creek 6:37. Manor 6:45. Downtown Austin about 6:47. All right, so let's take a look inside this storm because the hail has been the biggest factor with it thus far. I'm pleased to say that the apple-sized hail has faded out. I'm also disappointed to say that it's not much better because it's likely that we have egg-sized hail currently falling in downtown Cedar Park, across Whitestone Boulevard, up toward the Cedar Park Center, down toward Lakeline Boulevard and Lakeline Mall and Anderson Mill. Hen egg-sized hail that is 2 inches in diameter with this. It's also pushing toward Avery Ranch. So if you are in, for instance, the Avery Ranch area, if you're near Palmer, if you're up toward Whitestone Boulevard, you've got at least quarter-sized hail being indicated. Lakeline Mall, this is inbound toward you, and you can see through Cedar Park is where we definitely have the potential of hen egg-sized hail. There's also a pixel I'm going to query where it looks like on the northwest side of Cedar Park, tennis ball-sized hail is being indicated. So let me go ahead and zoom in there and we'll take a closer look at the area most likely for that tennis ball-sized hail. Unfortunately, folks, this has been a crazy severe weather season. All right, so talking about hail, okay, the new latest radar scan just refreshed, but it looked like it was right along Baghdad Road. So the Leander Cedar Park line is where we were looking at potential tennis ball sized hail. HEB Center also at New Hope Road, That's an area where it's likely that we were seeing some of the larger hail as well. All right, so let me go ahead and drop a little bit farther to the south so we can see where the current hail core is. Okay, this is a little bit of good news. It looks like the hail core that was showing the tennis ball to hen egg sized hail starting to drop off a little bit. Here's downtown Cedar Park and the Park Street area, and here's Bell Boulevard and where the new library is, 183 as well. We still are seeing some severe hail likely. It could be up to, I would say, ping pong ball sized hail based on what I'm looking at here, right across Cypress Creek Road and across Brushy Creek Road. $half sized hail is currently being indicated. So ping pong ball to $half sized hail being indicated. At Lakeline Mall, this is inbound heading toward you. Also anyone who lives through the Parmer area. We have a text.com cam over in Round Rock that we're going to show you. This is going to show you the skies right now over Round Rock. It's dark, it's cloudy, but this is, I'm assuming, I-35, and everyone's moving along because the storms aren't quite to Round Rock yet. It looks as though the biggest hail core is going to skirt toward the south of Round Rock proper. But those of you who are near McNeil High School, Jollyville, this is all going to be heading inbound toward you. I'll put this into motion. The biggest thing that I'm looking at is the large hail, and you can see it was much larger when the storm was up near New Hope Drive. It's not as large now, but it's right over Cedar Park as we speak. It's heading toward Lake Lane Mall, and then it's going to be moving toward Jollyville and McNeil Drive, basically paralleling 183 as it's moving from northwest to southeast. So go ahead and give your friends and neighbors a heads up if they're in the line of this big hail core. Even though it has weakened somewhat, it is still likely to cause damage. And speaking of damage, we got a report of damage to vehicles about 4 to 5 miles south of Liberty Hill because of this same storm with the very large hail. So currently seeing the hail right over Cedar Park, moving across into Northwest Austin, Lakeline Mall area, going to be pushing across 183. So anyone in Northwest Austin, this is going to be a hail core that we really need to pay attention to. I am encouraged though that it looks like through the last couple of scans on radar, it does look like it has dropped off somewhat. Okay, this is a look at the low-level rotation track as well. As I mentioned, it's not a tornado warning, it's a severe thunderstorm warning, but we are seeing some broad rotation, and we have had some reports of some funnels, nothing touching down yet, and as of yet, I haven't seen any new reports of anything touching down. But we know quarter-sized hail to $half-sized hail still potentially across the area with this storm that is currently in Cedar Park. There's another warning that's farther toward the north and west, so potentially even after that storm moves by the boards, we might need to keep an eye on this one to be pushing in. If it maintains itself, it might push across toward Lake Buchanan, out toward San Saba, Lampasas, into Burnett, quick on the heels of the original storm. So one supercell thunderstorm currently active heading toward Austin. Another supercell thunderstorm we'll have to keep tabs on. And here are these storm reports so far that we've seen, with hail being the primary thing. And I have a feeling that even though Cedar Park is getting hail right now, it just hasn't updated yet with enough people calling in and reporting and pictures on social media. But our social media team will certainly be out there parsing through reports to bring those to you. And unfortunately, it does look like potentially damaging hail, especially from Bertram and Oatmeal in eastern Burnett County through Liberty Hill, Leander, Cedar Park, and now moving toward Jollyville and Northwest Austin, and if it holds together, right into downtown Austin. All right, so in pink, this is the severe thunderstorm watch. This is a stalled front, which is basically the boundary upon which these storms are riding. Slow-moving storms, dropping a lot of rain, and this is the second round for some of us because this morning there was also vivid lightning and heavy rain. We do have that severe weather risk, a level 1, Bastrop out toward LaGrange, a level 2, Austin, all the way through the hill country. That's for today. As we look ahead to tomorrow, we're not out of the woods. We have another day where there will be a severe thunderstorm threat, a level 1 for most of our area, a level 2 as you head toward the north and west. All right, so I want to show you the latest high-res computer model. How are things going to play out for the rest of the evening? If you have outdoor plans, will you be able to get them in? Well, what we know right now is that that storm is dropping potentially very large hail in Cedar Park, moving to the southeast. High-res computer model is showing this at 7 p.m., so right now it's 6:22. It's about a half hour away from what we're actually seeing on radar, but potentially we're going to be seeing those storms rolling right across I-35 around 7 p.m. Toward 8 o'clock, into Bastrop County, places like Cedar Creek, on toward Page, up toward Milam County, Rockdale, Thorndale, Milano, Cameron, and into Lee County, places like Blue, and up toward Lexington. And then as we push through about 10 o'clock, the storms move their way toward Fayette County. So if you're in LaGrange and Schulenburg and Flatonia and Round Top, you are likely to see the storms closer to 10 p.m. The severe thunderstorm watch is in effect until 10 p.m. And at this point, computer models generally keep things pretty quiet once we get past 10 o'clock. So if you're in the hill country right now, we'll still be watching that storm that is northwest of San Saba and Lampasas to see if it holds together. If it doesn't, then you may be done for the night, but we do have more storm chances as we look ahead toward tomorrow as well. So continue to keep tabs on whether we have any significant hail reports, but I do know we've got dime-sized hail that was just reported on Palmer in Cedar Park. Near Brushy Creek. I just got that report. I'm also seeing a report, lots of spots reporting some mammatus clouds as well in areas of Williamson County, and some epic clouds also. I'm seeing some that are moving through the Jarrell area of the supercell thunderstorm. I'm not seeing any indications of a tornado touching down, but I am seeing reports of hail. Someone says it was horrifying to describe to you what it looked like as the storms were moving through. So a nasty storm that's certainly causing a lot of problems, especially given the fact that we're still kind of on the tail end of rush hour right now. 6:24 is the time. Looking ahead to tomorrow, we're going to see generally quieter weather. The next round might not happen until tomorrow night. So at this point, we could be quiet until, say, around midnight tomorrow night. So the storms we're tracking now, and then new storms may develop as we head toward Thursday night into early Friday. Here's Friday morning, and Friday will be probably the last time that we see those isolated storms before a generally quieter upcoming weekend. But there you go, as we head toward late Friday and early Saturday, this particular computer model says, but wait, we do have potential of seeing some more. All right, so let me show you the potential additional rainfall totals. And again, take this with a little bit of a grain of salt. We know that big supercell is moving through the Austin area right now. Here's a look at TxDOT again, and as you can see, it looks like we're at Route 620. This is likely at the exchange there at 183 and 620. You've got all those flyovers. You can see that the rain is falling. This is going to be very close to Lakeline Mall, right through Lakeline, not too far away from where 620 and 183 are with the big flyover. And it looks like traffic is moving. It does appear, am I seeing that people have kind of pulled over on the side of the road? It's hard to tell. And it's also hard to tell if that is, oh yeah, people pulled over. It's also hard to tell if that is hail, which I suspect it is, or if it is just really heavy rain. But there you can see from our tower cam, from the TxDOT cam, I should say, the severe thunderstorm watch, I'm just getting word, has been extended now. It's been extended now to include more counties, it looks like. Okay, so Bastrop County. Bastrop County, you are now included in the severe thunderstorm watch. I believe you were not earlier, but now you've been added to that, given the fact that the storms are moving through. So yes, we've got the hail reports, we've got the heavy rain, we've got the severe thunderstorm warning still in effect, and we have more storms likely yet to come. All right, so hour by hour forecast as we look ahead to tomorrow, generally quiet, upper 80s to low 90s for your temperatures. 91 right now is what I'm expecting. And then again, we're forecasting that potential of additional rainfall, which could range from less than an inch to over an inch or two as things progress. And what I'm gonna do is go back to the radar because I wanna check in again on those storms, and then I'll show you the 7-day forecast after that. So radar first, and we'll check in on that one severe thunderstorm, which again is in effect until 7 p.m. So severe thunderstorm warning in effect until 7 p.m. I'm continuing to look, getting reports of some rotating clouds that passed over Lago Vista. People saying it's a serious storm. Those who have already seen it pass by talking about how nasty the storm is and how bad it looked as it pushed through. So definitely one that you want to hunker down for and take those precautions. Okay, so once again, severe thunderstorm warning. I am seeing a little bit of what could be a hook. We're keeping a close eye. This looks like a little inflow notch. So at this point, no talk of an immediate tornado warning, but it is always a possibility, especially with these storms. I'm just going to double check. We had hail, Leander High School, 1-inch hail reported. The Cedar Park area, quarter-sized hail reported. And let's see what else we've got. A report of some really big hail. It looks like 2.5 inch diameter hail up toward Bertram. That one came in not too long ago, and a report of plum-sized hail 4 to 5 miles south of Liberty Hill that caused some damage to some vehicles there. So we do know that this storm has a history of being severe, and it continues to do just that. The storm now moving through Cedar Park, kind of dodging south of Round Rock as far as the hail core, and it looks like it's going to try to make a beeline right into Austin proper. So that's the severe thunderstorm warning, 60-mile-per-hour winds, hail up to 3 inches in diameter. I also want to point out toward north, as I was telling you, there's another storm that we're keeping tabs on. A new warning has been put into place for it. It's going to head towards San Saba, and if it holds together, that second storm could make its way toward Llano and Burnett counties later on. So I'm going to zoom in. We're going to do a storm track on the storm that is currently moving across Cedar Park, Round Rock, Pflugerville, and into northwest Austin, and now North Austin, right through Highway 360, Capitol Texas Highway. It's pushing right across there. 620, the storm is moving right through there. And let me give you a storm track, and it's definitely, as you can see, this would be maybe a little bit of a hook right in here with an inflow notch. Here's 360, here's Highway 290, here's downtown Austin, and lots of lightning with it too, about 130 lightning strikes. I'll go ahead and put the storm tracker on here, and we'll extrapolate it out southeast 25 or so and give you some updated towns and some times. All right, so we're looking at Mount Bonnell in Austin about 6:31. Time now is 6:29, so it's moving a pretty decent clip. Downtown Austin 6:39, Montopolis 6:49, the airport 6:57. They'll probably have to do a ground stop for this one. Weberville right around 7:03, Circuit of the Americas 7:10, Utley 7:17, and Wildwood right around 7:24. Looking at the hail core one more time. This is the biggest concern as we've had the reports of large hail. Okay, right now it's a little bit better. It looks like the worst, oh no, it's not a little bit better. Cedar Park, you're in better shape. It wouldn't surprise me if we're seeing some hail outside our studios. Could someone check and see? It looks like here at the Domain, it's showing that there could be some hail currently falling. Domain, Metric Boulevard, which is basically Metric and Kramer is where the station is. I'd be curious to see if we have any hail falling, but it looks according to radar that there could be hail up to about quarter size. Anderson High School, Burnett Road, Greystone Drive, route toward West Bull Creek Preserve. These areas all in the core of what could be some nasty hail here in North Austin, right along Highway 183, still showing signs of very large hail. So again, it's entirely possible that there's hail falling over our heads and we don't even know. Out at the Arboretum, we're seeing the hail core as well. The worst of it right across Highway 360. So Capitol Texas Highway, we're certainly keeping tabs on that right near the Arboretum. And if you're heading out, say, towards Steiner Ranch or something like that, the road along Great Hills Trail is probably a hail-covered and storm-covered road. I'll do another hail query on this. And right now we're looking at, let's see how large this hail is indicated. It's showing apple-sized hail. This is impressive. Did you happen to go outside? Do we have any hail falling here? No hail, okay, just heavy rain? All right, storms here at our studios here in North Austin, however, apparently not hailing. So yes, the radar is definitely showing that the hail core would be falling from Jollyville Road, Anderson High School, Spicewood Springs, Highway 183, and Mopac here, and then Capitol Texas Highway as the area likely seeing the worst of the hail from our hail tracker. Continuing to hear reports from Williamson County earlier with Liberty Hill picking up hail up to half-dollar size. That was right at 6 o'clock, right now at 6:30. Let's see, pea-sized hail just reported out at Q2 Stadium. That report coming in, of course, they're supposed to have kickoff for this soccer match. I'm hoping that they have hunkered down. I know that they take those safety precautions really seriously. But yes, now it looks like half-inch to three-quarter-inch hail being reported at Q2 Stadium, which literally, as the crow flies, is about a half a mile from where I'm standing right now. So hail at Q2 Stadium means hail probably at the Domain, means hail probably on Burnett Road. Yeah, a little bit, okay. So, yep, we got some hail. Oh, let's see this. Just to give you an idea, it's pea size, it's little, but to give you an idea of what we're looking at right now, here is from one of our anchors, our Telemundo anchor, Bruna. She said that there's some little pea-sized hail, so it's not super big, but that gives you an idea of what's falling right now. I appreciate this. Thank you so much. Pea-size as opposed to anything larger than that, but there's thunder, and obviously you don't want to be out in this. So we're still watching as the biggest area of hail right now is appearing right through now inside 360, right across Mopac. Here's 183, and this is where the biggest hail core is now, North Lamar area. This is going to be working its way south towards Shoal Creek, moving toward downtown Austin and UT, out toward the Drag, Mueller as well. So all of you just be aware that there is hail that is showing up on radar. I'm pleased to see that it, at least over our area, is smaller hail. Anything that's an inch in diameter or larger is considered severe hail. So right now that is something that has been falling in some locations, enough to damage vehicles and roofs and that kind of thing. But it looks like the hail core just doesn't want to quit. It's continuing to stay pretty bad. Also, extremely high rainfall rates. I just mentioned Shoal Creek just got a report of a rainfall rate in Shoal Creek of 5.82 inches per hour. That's Shoal Creek Boulevard near Foster. Torrential rain coming down. So that could then prompt some possible flood concerns as well as the rain is coming down fast and furious. Looks like near Lakeline Boulevard, we had almost to Cedar Park, near Lakeline Boulevard, dime to nickel sized hail being reported from our weekend meteorologist Michael Crowley. So yes, there are some spots that are definitely getting reports of hail. Radar, actually, based on what I'm hearing for ground truth, might be overestimating how large the hail falling is. But we're now watching as a hail core has now popped up over East Austin. So if you are out toward Sims Elementary School, Oak Springs Elementary School, 7th Street, off to the east of UT, this new little hail core popping up right here on the east side of I-35. So here's I-35. Here's downtown Austin, here's Mopac, and we've got the storms that are rolling across all of these areas, but the new hail core indicated right near Oak Springs Elementary School. So I'm going to go ahead and stop that, and we'll zoom in here and get a better idea. Campbell Elementary School as well, and let's see what the query is showing as far as the hail size. And again, it might be overestimating, but this currently is showing potential for grapefruit-sized hail. That is giant, folks. Grapefruit-sized hail, so it's roughly 4.5 inches in diameter. I mean, think about how big your phone is, for instance. This is going to be almost phone-sized hail falling if we're actually getting the hail that the radar is currently showing. So impressive storm that is continuing to push across the area. And the best thing that I can say is stay indoors so that you can stay safe, because of the fact that there's hail, there's wind, there's a lot of rain. There's probably going to be rain rates that are so high that that creates issues as far as ponding on roadways and possible flooding as well. Okay, so the latest update on the radar scan has taken that spot that we were kind of looking at there on the east side of I-35 down a notch, but we're still showing hail likely to be at least 2 inches plus in diameter. Right across Mueller area, here's I-35. There's UT, and then Mount Bonnell is out on this side. It looks like if you're out in Westlake, you've avoided this. You've dodged the storm. Springdale Road area, here's 183 again. Not too far away from Go Valley Park is where we're also seeing this all continuing to push off toward the south and east. So the way it's skirting right now, it looks like only pea-sized hail for downtown Austin. And the worst of the hail will probably be moving toward the south and east. Folks who live in East Austin near Decker Lake, keep in mind this is going to be heading toward you and continuing to scoot off toward Weberville as well. So that's where the hail core is going. And you may have rain in other locations, but the worst of the hail right now looks like it's moving from North Lamar across to Mueller, along Highway 290, out toward 183, and then it's going to be pushing toward Decker Lane, Decker Lake, the rodeo fair, the fairgrounds, and out toward the 130 toll road. So that's where the hail core is currently heading. And these storms are moving to the southeast at about 25 miles per hour. I'm going to just double check the motion of this to make sure that we're not seeing it pick up in speed, because it has been moving at a pretty good clip. So, yep, as of the last check, it does indeed appear that we're looking at the storm continuing to move to the southeast at about 25 miles per hour. It's 6:37 right now, so if you're tuning in to CBS Austin News, we've got severe thunderstorms rolling right through Travis County and Austin. Currently, we're hearing the thunder over our heads here at the studios. We're at Metric and Kramer in North Austin. Had a little bit of pea-sized hail or slightly larger than pea-sized hail push through our area. Report just down the street over at Q2 Stadium on Burnett and Breaker of 1/2 inch to 3/4 inch hail, and that was just a couple of minutes ago. That same hail core has pushed now through areas east of I-35, and it's moving across Highway 290. All right, and just to give you an idea, we were talking about Q2 Stadium. We have word that they are doing a shelter in place. They were planning a match this evening. The gates were open, and of course, you don't want to be caught in harm's way. So shelter in place for folks heading to the soccer match at Q2 Stadium. So those storms should likely be out before the match kickoff. I believe is at 7:30. So this is just for the early arrivers where they're saying shelter in place so we can get through this. And then after the storms clear, they'll likely be able to get that match underway. Thank you so much, Jordan, our producer, for letting me know about that information. All right, so we've got still the storms rolling through I-35. Walt, are you collecting any information? Can you offer me any insights here on what's going on?
It's coming toward Miller, but you know, my son's car was out on the street in Cedar Park, got hammered. 2-inch hail.
Did I not say, Walt, do you have any family
I called.
that you need to let know?
I called and text, and
Tell me the story. I'm going to go get some water.
I'm going to have to get some insurance agents out there for the roof as well. So as this moved through Cedar Park, the line was very distinct as Chicago tracked it. And when it hit Cedar Park, when she said, it was hitting hard. So I'll be at the repair shop tomorrow for the Jeep, and I'll be talking to my insurance agent about my roof. Now I'm calling my son in the Miller area to get your car garaged right now.
Absolutely. Okay. Thank you for the update. I was so worried because I had a hunch, and right before we started doing the wall-to-wall coverage, I said to Walt, you might want to let your family know. Give them a heads up because I saw that it was heading right in there. Okay, so right now we are still looking at I-35 out toward Mueller, off toward the east, Springdale Road. This is going to be heading toward Decker, and this is where we're still seeing indications of damaging hail. This has just been an atrocious last week or so. We had destructive hail that rolled through San Marcos area. Okay, we're just getting another little emergency alert because of severe thunderstorm warning. And in fact, right now, they've upped it to baseball-sized hail. So we're talking destructive hail alert, windows likely to be shattered, and a severe thunderstorm warning now that includes Bastrop County and Caldwell counties too. So let me go ahead and go to the regular radar view. We've kind of been focusing in on the hail because that's the most damaging part of the storm. But we now, with the same storm continuing to move off toward the southeast, are getting a new warning. And here's the new severe thunderstorm warning just issued. It is now in effect until 7:30 p.m. Hail size up to baseballs. That's 2 3/4 inches in diameter. Think about that. Last week we saw some of that fall out in Kyle, or a few days ago anyway, on Memorial Day in Kyle, and it was enough to absolutely destroy some areas as far as the the large hail. I think that was last week. We had Fredericksburg with baseball-sized hail back on Monday night. It's just been one storm after another. 60-mile-per-hour winds currently being reported, or potential for that. Destructive threat can't rule out a tornado, though fortunately we haven't had to deal with a tornado warning, but even still, this massive hail is not much of a better outcome than tornado activity because it's wind or hail. Either one causes a lot of damage. So Bastrop, Caldwell, and Travis County now all under this new severe thunderstorm warning, which is a high-end warning, which is why your phones probably went off just now saying there's an emergency because of the weather. 843,000 people are included within this latest severe thunderstorm warning. As we mentioned, we've had reports from many locations of hail. Many of you have spotted the mammatus clouds. Others have spotted the huge supercell thunderstorm that looks like a UFO or a spaceship because it's that big and that gnarly looking. And the storm is looking like it's going to bypass those of you that are in South Austin, for instance, just barely brushing across downtown Austin, but moving through the east side and bringing with it a lot of hail. Let me go ahead and stop this, and I will do a latest storm track for you so we can give you some new towns and some new times. I'll put it on the regular radar view, and then we'll go ahead and drop through the area pushing to the southeast at about 25 miles per hour. All right, well, this may be from your son getting a report. Cedar Park, hail of ping pong ball size reported. Multiple photos on social media of ping pong ball sized hail falling in Cedar Park. So you're not going to be the only one at the auto shop getting repairs, unfortunately. This is not a good situation. Needless to say, hunker down. There is no reason for you to be out and about in these conditions. I'm going to take the leading edge of the storm, push it to the southeast, 25 miles per hour. Let's do it right here, and I'll give you some latest times. So right now it is 6:42. The new warning is in effect until 7:30. The previous warning upstream is until 7 o'clock. Austin Executive Airport right around now in Pflugerville. Manor 6:50. Montopolis about 6:52. Out at the airport at 6:59. Elgin 7:02, Weberville 7:07, Garfield 7:14, Utley 7:22, 7:29 for Sayersville, Camp Swift for 7:38, and 7:39 for Bastrop Middle School. So I often have people ask me, is it going to be moving toward Caldwell County? Is it going to be moving toward Bastrop County once it pushes through Austin? And this one is showing no signs of fizzling, so I'm going to say yes. Prepare for damaging hail if you are south and east of Austin, because this storm is continuing on quite the tear. All right, we're going to look at the Round Rock camera again to see how things are flowing on I-35. Looks like traffic is moving along. Earlier, we did see traffic kind of stopped along the side whenever the rain was really going, but you can see from the cloud cover, it looks as though there's even a little bit of blue popping out there. That's because the storm that we're seeing on radar right now has dropped basically very quickly out of Williamson County. So it looks like if you're in the southern half of Round Rock, you're probably still dealing with a little bit of the storm activity, but it has cleared Terra Vista area and the Round Rock outlets. It is just sprinkling out toward Old Settlers Road. Downtown near Mays, it looks like there's just some light rain falling. And basically from Hester's Crossing and down into Wells Branch and then Pflugerville is where the northern edge of the storm activity is. Tons of lightning too with this storm. It's just a very active storm. It has pushed now through the domain, which is not far from here at CBS Austin News. And again, we've had reports of potential for up to baseball-sized hail. At one point, our radar was indicating hail up to about grapefruit size, which is 4.5 inches in diameter. So impressive hail. In addition to the hail, very heavy rain, and we do indeed have our evening producer, Luca, who just sent some pictures and some video of the hail and the rain falling outside our studios here in North Austin. So I just tweeted that out. Another person showing the hail in Cedar Park, occasional baseball-sized hail, cars damaged. I'm seeing pictures of cars that have the whole windshield knocked out and the hail just coming down nonstop. This is our Chase Bank Tower cam downtown, and as you can see, visibility is limited. It almost looks like the rain coming through is just coming fast and furious. It's hard to tell if it's actually hailing there, but the hail core is at least going to be just to the north of downtown Austin. Okay, so I got to tell you, this latest scan, it looks like the hail core has gone up even more. I'll go and take a look at the potential for this hail. Our hail tracker, again, we've been tracking it for over an hour now, and anytime I see these reds, that is consistent with what could be apple-sized hail. So I'll go ahead and query this, and yep, it's showing apple-sized hail still over Springdale Road and Highway 183 and Manor Road. Billiard ball-sized hail, which is 3 inches in diameter, is now showing up east of 183 as we head toward the Johnny Morris Road, Colony Park area, Hog-Eye Road, and Smoot. So billiard ball, that's about 3-inch diameter hail currently indicated here. So it's just been an incredible amount of hail and rain moving through, and so many pictures coming in of people dealing with the storm. So they are moving off toward the south and east. They're pushing at about 25 miles per hour. So if you are southeast of the Weberville area, or if you are in the Weberville area, be ready, because right now the storms are moving through Mueller and on toward the east, heading toward near Decker Lake and the Travis County Expo Center, moving toward the 130 toll road, moving toward Highway 71, and very close to the airport, Montopolis as well. You've got some hail showing up. East of I-35 now is where the worst of the action is. So if you are anywhere west of downtown Austin, you are likely probably seeing things improve. All right, and Walt showing me some pictures. I don't know if you guys can see this, but we've got hail. That's pretty good. Well, pretty bad. I'm sorry. Sorry. Yes.
It was
Confirmation.
terrifying.
Cedar Park got hammered. Leander got hammered. Parts of Liberty Hill got hammered. Bertram, Oatmeal, and now Austin, North Austin, showing up on East Austin as well. So if you are out toward airport, East Side, Mueller, Decker Lake, all indicating on radar where the hail is currently falling. We have some video coming in from our morning meteorologist, Avery Tomasco. Hard to see what it says. Walt, can you read what this says? I'm having trouble. Power is out, microburst. And the microburst, of course, the strong winds gusting out as the storm starts to collapse. So that's maybe what we're dealing with there. Again, please take all the safety precautions. Treat this almost as though it is a tornado warning because of the fact that we're dealing with destructive conditions. Sometimes we have these warnings and it's not that big of a deal because of the fact that we have quarter-size hail, it's in and out and no big deal. Walt, do you mind coming over here and talking for a second? I need to go grab a cord. All right, so Walt's gonna talk to you. I gotta go grab a cord because my power is about to run out on my laptop.
This was pretty fast and furious through Cedar Park, then it kind of scaled down. My son just gave me pictures from the Miller area, and it got hammered as well. So hopefully you got your cars indoors when the warnings came. Otherwise, the insurance lines are gonna be big tomorrow, and you're gonna have a long wait time to get those repaired. And that continues now. Tracking, as you can see on the radar. Chicago warned me. I tried to get the cars in early enough, but just not in time. I'll be in that line with you tomorrow. So.
Oh, I'm so sorry to hear that, Walt. My heart goes out to you and your family.
Thank you.
Cheers for people with garages. I texted my husband before coming to work today and was like, make sure you're watching radar just in case. And also, we got reports from Michael Crowley, our weekend meteorologist, who said that he also experienced some hail there. It looks like at his location, it wasn't as big as what you encountered or what your family encountered there in Cedar Park. All right, we're back in business. We've got the cord here. Okay, Cedar Park, golf ball sized hail, that was reported at 6:20. Jollyville, penny sized hail. Ping pong ball sized hail, Cedar Park. Liberty Hill, $50 sized hail. Another Cedar Park report, quarter sized hail. So Leander, quarter sized hail. Bertram, egg sized hail. You get the idea. This storm means business. All right, so we're still watching as the hail core now has pushed east of I-35. If you are currently watching in the Mueller area, you are seeing the east side still fast and furious with hail heading toward 183, but the west side of Airport Boulevard, things are certainly improving. UT, fortunately, looks like most of this kind of avoided or skirted. Also, downtown Austin, the majority of the worst of the storm moved to the east. Okay, we've got some video from one of our other producers. This is from Jess Brandt, and whoa, look at this. It looks like rain coming in sheets. I don't know if there's any hail mixed in there, but that is incredible. This is from the Crestview area in Austin, basically central Austin. Man, it is coming down fast and furious. So clearly you don't want to be out in the middle of this. What we know now, we've got a severe thunderstorm warning. It is in effect until 7:30. Severe storms packing hail, packing damaging and destructive wind moving through. I haven't heard of power outages. I don't know if somebody can check and see if there have been any power outages reported, but we're getting more and more reports of hail, especially reports in Cedar Park where it is basically enough that it was coating the streets, unfortunately. And the fact that I had a report where someone said occasional baseball-sized hail reported in Cedar Park, that is going to absolutely cause a lot of damage. So hail, wind, and additional damage possible with torrential rain. Now, we appreciate the rain. What we do not appreciate is when Mother Nature brings those awful side effects. So at the end of the day, maybe you're lucky enough to see a rainbow. I just had a friend who sent me a photo of a rainbow on the backside of the storm. So that'll be your signal that things are improving and the sun will come out tomorrow and all those things. All right, remember, earlier I was talking about how we had one storm that we were watching right now, the one that's moving through the east side of Austin. I want to check in on the second storm. This is the one that's moving towards San Saba, because it too is severe warned. And if it holds together, it's going to be pushing toward those of you in Llano and Burnett counties. So it's right here. Here's San Saba. This is Route 16, and this is up toward 2-inch diameter hail size possible, and wind speeds about 60 miles per hour. So this is going to be tracking to the southeast. Heads up, Llano, Burnett counties, you might have more. Okay, power outages. Let's talk about those. 19,000 power outages reported. This is from Austin Energy. We're taking a look at that map. Thank you so much to Jordan, our producer, for providing us with that information. 19,000 power outages you can see on the map. Some of those areas highlighted in red. Walt, what are you seeing on the map? Can you tell me?
Bull Creek, Mesa Oaks, Wooten. You got trouble near Allendale, St. John's, North Loop. There's a widespread swath of power outages, so a lot of people dealing with trying to get the power back on and, of course, the hail damage.
It's brutal out there. Folks, if you are currently dealing with power outages, you can always, well, you can text your friends who may be also out of power and say you can stream our coverage on our app. Usually our social media team is really great, and they will stream this out on Facebook and on YouTube, and they'll just put it in all kinds of places so you can stream it even if you run out of power. So there's your quick little warning on that. So we're watching the storm moving towards San Saba. That could be the next one. We're continuing to watch the supercell massive hail maker that has pushed across Williamson County and is now squarely in Travis County. Next stop, Bastrop County. Severe thunderstorm warning till 7:30. Hail size baseball, up to baseball. Winds up to 60 miles per hour. Can't rule out a tornado, even though there has not been a tornado warning thus far today, and the rotation hasn't been a tight enough couplet for us to worry about a tornado. There's still a little bit inflow right here. It's very close to the airport, so I'm guessing that there's a ground stop likely at the airport. Anyone who had an evening flight, or if you're picking up a loved one or expecting someone inbound, chances are this storm, although it's going to be in and out pretty quick, probably is going to gum up the works and lead to some delays. So just a heads up for you as far as that's concerned out at the airports. But yes, we're dealing with a lot of dangerous lightning as well. Lightning strikes sometimes can cause fires, so that could be another residual thing that we have to contend with as well. But yes, we've had the hail in Cedar Park, damaging hail up to baseball size. We've had many people reporting heavy rain, high winds, and of course the severe thunderstorm warnings, which are in effect the one until 7:30 that we're currently tracking. That includes Bastrop, Caldwell, and Travis counties. 843,000 people are within this severe warned storm, which is now on the east side of I-35. It's moving just near Manor, moving across toward Weberville and Decker Lake, and moving toward southeast Austin, right near the airport. It will likely be heading toward Elroy as well as Circuit of the Americas before too long. So I'll go ahead and stop this, and we'll do the latest storm track for you to give you the latest towns and times so that you can plan on this. Just plan on potential of damaging hail. So if you have a place where you can pull your car in underneath the shelter, if you don't have a garage, this is your warning. If you're in Bastrop, I'm letting you know right now, please be ready because this storm is heading your way. All right, here's the latest time. 6:55 currently, 6:59 for the airport. Garfield 7:03, Sayersville 7:05, Circuit of the Americas 7:11, Wildwood 7:16, Lake Bastrop 7:20, 7:28 for Bastrop, Alum Creek 7:37, Busher State Park at about 7:44, 7:46 for Smithville, and 7:48 for Bateman, and then 7:50 for Smithville. So that's going to take this all the way into Bastrop County. And northern sections of Caldwell County are also included within this warning. So the storm's tracking off toward the south and east, and it could clip those locations as well. I'm going to go back and show you the hail core so you can see where the worst of the hail is currently falling. Earlier, it was right over Cedar Park. Cedar Park, you're recovering, but unfortunately, the damage is done. Even though the sun has come back out and you've got rainbows, unfortunately, that's not going to be much solace after what fell. I'm sorry, Walt. All right, so here we go. The core of the worst of the hail currently bordered by Montopolis to the west. FM 973 right over it. State Highway 130, the 130 toll road right in here. We've got Garfield Highway 71 spanning right in here. Here's 183. Here's the airport. It does look like there's some hail currently falling very close to the airport. So we're in southeast Austin, Hornsby Bend, for instance, and then a huge swath where there could be up to egg-sized hail that is falling east of Montopolis, west of Weberville, south of Decker Lake, and near the Ross Road area and right across the 130 toll road. So let me go ahead and query this. We've got a downtown picture as the sun is coming out. This just shows you how quickly Mother Nature can say, all right, take that. And then, it's beautiful again. So just be patient. Hail-sized hen egg. This is why it's always good to have a plan of action so that you can head indoors whenever thunder roars, so that you can get to safety as the storm pushes through. Because since the storms are moving to the southeast about 25 miles per hour, wait a half an hour and the storm's already over your area. Okay, this is a little bit better news. The reds that were showing up on radar for the hail core when they were closer to basically North Austin area now are diminishing somewhat. We still got 2-inch diameter hail, but two things I'm noticing are the size of the hail core has gone a little bit smaller, and the amount of, or the intensity, the size of that hail has also dropped off a little bit, but it's right across Highway 71 now, right near the, have the